Hello, gorgeous heartbeat, and welcome to Heartbeats Harbor. I'm your host, Brianna Hosack, and I'm here to shine the light on the shadow path we walk as heartbeat women. Women rising into leadership roles as lightworkers, changemakers, world shakers, or as I call us, heartbeats, do not have an easy path to walk. It often feels lonely, painful, and unique, but I'm here to help you see how very not alone you are, and how beautiful the shadows surrounding you actually are when you love and integrate them on your healing journey. I create spaces and opportunities for women to step into deeper self-awareness, self-acceptance, and personal healing, community and sacred circles, as well as leadership of themselves, their families, their communities, and beyond. My business and my life is and always will be about massive change in the ways things are done around the world. I believe it's a big part of my purpose on this planet to be a voice for those who don't have one, a safe harbor for those who need one, and a beacon of light to inspire a better way. None of this is easy. I've learned that big impact requires bold action and delusional levels of confidence, as well as a ton of shadow work. If you love what you hear on this podcast and you want to be part of the growing, supportive online village of Heartbeats Harbor, make sure you join my Facebook group, which is linked below in the show notes. Now, I can't wait to get started, so let's turn on the lights.
Hey, Heartbeats. We're back for another episode of the Heartbeats Harbor podcast. And today I am interviewing Cindy Vallone, who I met in the last few months. And we've gotten to know each other a little bit. And I think she's absolutely amazing. And she's got some really interesting things to talk to us about today. So, Cindy is born and raised and is now raising her own family in Southern California. She's a busy entrepreneur. She's been married 28 years to her college sweetheart, and she's a proud mom to two grown-ish boys.
Mhm.
She and her family have been committed to reducing their toxic load for over 10 years, and they look for plant-based options for physical, emotional, or mental wellness. Currently, Cindy has an international team of wellness warriors who help people around the globe meet their wellness goals with safe, natural, and toxin-free products. So, hello, Cindy. Thank you for being on my podcast today.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Um, Tell us a little bit more about you if you would like to share before we really dive in.
Gosh, as you're kind of reading through some of the highlights of my life, it's interesting because my boys now I have a a senior in high school and a senior in college. And each of them really has taught me even more about the environment. And so I think it's really important that not only are we doing ourselves good, but that we are um, making the planet healthier for all future generations. And so
Yes.
that just struck a chord in me. I was like, they're continuing that. They're conscious consumers. They're looking at labels. They're asking questions like, why does this product exist if it does harm? So that's kind of what I
I love
consider
that.
myself as is a wellness warrior and just educating people a little bit at a time. And it doesn't have to be hard and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. We can all do our own part. I like to call it ditch and switch. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Um, yeah, and it's interesting because 10 years ago, I really knew nothing about essential oils and plant-based natural medicine. And we really have made a complete overhaul in our family. And then that's trickled down, to my kids and then so many people who I've connected with around the world.
I think that's so cool. And honestly, I love that you're saying like the next generation is carrying it on already, that you've got your kids being conscious consumers. And actually, as much as maybe some people might think it's a long window of time, I think the fact that you've done that in under 10 years is actually really incredible. Because changing, especially, when kids are past like that first 5 to 10 year mark of their lives, they're a little bit less malleable, right? So it's a little bit harder to get them into like new ways of being and new ways of doing things. So I think that's really incredible. And it just made me think of like the other day I had my daughter's complaining and she's 13. Okay, she's 13, so she's in that phase of like, I want all the junk food. I want, like she's just wants to do her own thing. She thinks she's more independent than she is, you know, all of that. And lately she's in particular really obsessed with Mr. Noodles, which are garbage food, right? Like they're just like the fake noodles that you like boil the water and they just come to life. Like they're so gross. Like they're tasty, but they're so bad for you, right? Or like just there's nothing in them. And what keeps happening is she'll eat a pack of Mr. Noodles and then be like, I'm hungry. And it's like right after. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course you're hungry because there's zero nutrition in that. And she's, you know, she always kind of rolls her eyes at me. And then the other day, I actually grabbed one of the packs and I read to her the ingredients list. And there's not one natural food in that.
Mm-hmm.
The entire thing is fake. And I was like, this is disgusting. And she was in shock. She was just like, that is absolutely gross. Why did you tell me that? Now I'm going to think about that every time I eat them. Right. And I'm like, good, because you don't need to be eating this garbage. But that it really made me think of that. Like, I think, absolute goals for me, and I'm sure for a lot of the women in my audience who have kids as well, to try to teach their kids healthier ways of being and of living, and better ways of interacting with the planet, that we're not creating, you know, destroying our planet and creating problems for the world, and like you said, helping to preserve it for the next generation. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry for the random Mr. Noodles tangent, but that just really, I was like, yeah, yeah, I really want my kids to understand this stuff. And actually, if they are there in 10 years, I would be happy. You know what I mean? Like that, as much as 10 years is a long time and sooner would be great. I'm like, if they're there in 10 years, you know, she's 23, my other two will be still in their teens. I think that would be great. I think that's a really good starting point for their adult lives, right?
And it's really interesting because we focus on what we eat, right? That usually comes top of mind, but we really also need to focus on what we're putting on and in our bodies. Everything
Yes.
from sunscreens to dishwasher tabs, to like, what are you using to clean your environment? What are your household cleaners? What products are in those? What about candles? Most candles are toxic and you're breathing that
Yeah.
in, impacting your lungs. So it's not just what we're eating, but it's really everything that's around us. And I don't want to frighten people. Like I said, we did this bit by bit by bit. Okay. I didn't just
Yeah.
go under my kitchen sink and throw everything out. And at that time too, I learned about essential oils. So that was really my gateway. That was really ooh, this is so interesting, and the science and the research behind it. And 10 years later, there's even so much more, but it's the easy button. Honest to goodness, if it wasn't easy, I never would have done it. So I like it. I like
And
to think
that's what I love most
easy
about
button.
what you do, because you simplify everything, right?
Yeah.
You like to do it the easy way. And this is, I talk about simplifying all the time. And the great thing that really stuck out to me when we were talking was that you focus on simplifying your wellness. You focus on making it easier to be well. And that is, these are the areas that we get so intimidated in as women, as busy women, right? Because we're like, I'm already doing all the things. How can I now add in this wellness routine that includes, you know, movement, eating, and then now you're going to bring in environmental factors. Like it's just it feels huge. So I love that you
Yep.
simplify that.
And it doesn't have to be hard. And like I said, if it was hard, I probably never would have done it, because 10 years ago, right? My my kids were like the ages of your kids. So busy. It's busy, whether you're an entrepreneur, a busy woman, a busy mama. We got to take baby steps, and we have to pat ourselves on the back for those baby steps. That is
Yeah.
something that we all forget to do. Celebrate those little wins. Celebrate the win that your daughter identified. You know what? I need to think about what I'm putting in my body. Like now things are starting to turn for her. And that's what our jobs are as moms, right? Just to help those kids along. I would love to share a little bit about like what an essential oil is. There might be some people
Sure.
listening who may not really know. Would that be Would that be okay to start
Yeah.
here? Okay.
Yeah,
So
I think so.
essential oils are aromatic compounds that are either steam distilled or cold pressed into bottles to make it easy to use them. And the company that I partnered with 10 years ago is doTERRA. They're the world's largest essential oil company in the world. But more than that, what spoke to me was the fact that our oils are used in top research universities for research and in hospital systems around the globe. And so if it's good enough for that, right? I felt
Yeah.
like, okay, this is really something that's pure, safe, natural, effective, potent, tested, all the things that we want. And honestly, I was just too busy to read all the labels on all the products that are out there. I mean,
Oh my
have you
gosh,
ever sat
yes.
at the grocery store and pulled something up or checked an app? It was like 10 years ago, we actually had to type it in. We couldn't just take like a QR code picture and then typing crazy. Like I was like, if it has more than 12 letters, it's probably bad for you. That was
Yes.
just
Right.
so I like that our product line is pretty extensive and things are safe, natural, tested, third party tested, kind of goes through the ringer. So that really, really helped me feel like a confident consumer and a conscious consumer. What am I doing so that I'm
Yeah.
removing the toxins from our home? So things like candles, plugins, I replaced with essential oils and diffusers. A diffuser is a machine that you add water to and a couple drops of essential oils. The beautiful thing about that is diffusers can help us mentally, emotionally, and physically, depending on what oil
Yeah.
you put in there. So think about being like stuffy or congested, cold and flu season time. There's certain oils that you can use to help open up the airways or oils that you can use for restful sleep. And I'll talk about some of them in a second. I'm not going to keep people guessing, but or for sleeping, or like the homework helper, or as an entrepreneur needing energy and focus. Let's put some oils in the
Hmm.
diffuser and help you that way because it hits the olfactory bulb and the limbic system of the brain, which is sending out all the messages. That's the cornerstone for our memories and emotions. And we can change on a dime. So if you're feeling a little unmotivated and you smell certain essential oils, it can get you going. If you're feeling like you can't shut your brain off at night and it's time to go to bed, essential oils can help you do that. So they're like kind of geek out on them, I know, and I get real excited. But it's so cool, and I feel myself. My background is in training and development and corporate consulting, and so I've always taught somebody something about something, and this is no different for me. I'm just teaching people
Yeah.
simple, easy ways to be healthier.
I love it. And I'm obsessed with diffusers. I actually really, really love using my diffusers. And oddly enough, for the last couple of months, which is probably about how long it's been since we talked, I haven't
Yeah.
been using my diffuser. I don't know why I haven't been using it. And now that you're saying this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed my diffuser.
Yeah, and let me give
I'm
a
not using
couple
it.
let me give a couple of tips. Let me give a couple of simple tips, okay? You are not alone in having used your diffuser and then you get out of the habit. And so one of the tricks that I teach all of my clients and customers is find a pretty pitcher or a pretty watering can and leave that next to your diffuser so that you don't always have to unplug the diffuser, take it to the sink, fill it up. Like even that can be a hassle. But
Yeah,
if
it
you
can be,
have the
absolutely.
watering can next to it, then all you have to do is take the top off and fill it up. I have one that's just so cute, makes me happy every time I use it. It was from a little antique store. And yeah, so that's just a tip. That's just a tip. But we can dive
That
in.
is super cute. And I love, like, for a lot of women in my audience, there's a lot of neurodiverse women in my audience. And I think it can be things like that that keep us from anything. Like it can be the smallest thing, like having to take that step and carry the diffuser over and unplug it and all of that. And solutions like that that seem, they seem like they're either tiny or maybe like unimportant, they can be the complete cure for a problem like that, for an ADHD woman like myself, where it's like, just not having
Yeah.
that
It
in
was a game
place can make
changer.
it harder. Yeah.
It was a game changer when I was like, huh, I don't have
Yep.
to unplug this anymore. I'm in. So, if you want, I can talk about specific oils for stress and sleep, as well
Mm.
as kind of a toxic ditch and switch. I'll share that it's the only product I have under my kitchen sink for cleaning all the things, including fruits and vegetables. I can share that too.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So where do you want to
Yeah.
start?
I'm
Where do
like,
you want to start?
I have got like I have a big shelf full of essential oils. So I'm like, which ones am I using? Come on, tell me about it.
So do
I
you want to
got
start?
all of them. I just don't know what to use them for.
Let's start with stress. Let's start with stress.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, Stress, overwhelm, anxious feelings, all of those are really big. And they're big for our kids too. And so when you can help the mom and the kid at the same time, again, there's the hack,
Yeah.
then it's a win-win. So I want you
Well,
to
and
know,
with almost no effort, right? Like, especially if
yeah,
you're using a diffuser or something,
yeah.
it's just like pressing start.
So
That's so easy. Yeah.
using a diffuser is one of the easiest things to do. We also have oils in rollers, and then
Mhm.
you just literally roll that on wrists, neck. I have two boys. We live in Southern California. Usually at home, they're shorts and shirtless, right? I mean, it's
Yep.
just how we roll.
Yep.
Barefoot, right?
Okay, mine are in underwear all the time. So
Okay.
it's
All right.
all
We
good.
got at least we got shorts on. And rolling essential oils down the spine is very
Mm,
effective and impactful as well. And so that just became part of our family vernacular. If somebody was having kind of a freak out moment or stressed or starting to get a little angry, whatever it was, I would just go and I would call it a drive-by. I would just go and just drive by, roll down the spine.
up and
Yep.
down their back.
Yep. Yep. And
That's amazing.
they got so used to it, like at the beginning they'd be like, "Whoa, what's happening?" And then eventually they were like, oh, "Yeah, I need some of that." So I'll talk about single essential oils, that the names that people are familiar with, and then we have some specialty blends that are pretty spectacular. Let's start with lavender, okay? Most people know that lavender is really, really good for calming, for soothing, for helping to quiet the mind. So it's great to use either during the day or before bed. To set up your space before bed, you want to set that diffuser up about 30 minutes before you go to sleep so that the room is fulfilled or filling up. And our lavender can be used 3 ways because it's 100% pure. There aren't any chemicals or fillers or synthetics in it. And the 3 ways are topically, so you could just put some on your skin, aromatically in a diffuser or just smelling it, right? I have it right here. Oh, it's just so good. As well as internally, as long as it says supplement facts on the bottle. I know people are listening, they can't see the bottle, but for those, imagine seeing those words on the bottle. It is safe for internal use, which means a drop
Ah.
in a veggie cap or a drop in water. Lavender doesn't taste that great, so I like to use a veggie cap, which is an empty capsule. You can drop, one. I just start with one drop of the essential oil, put the cap on, and then you swallow it down like a pill. You can do that, and that's going to help calm the systems down. Another great oil is copaiba that works on the endocannabinoid system. So again, really great, as well as helping with any inflammatory and pain response, which also can be triggered if we're under a lot of stress, right? So lavender, copaiba are really excellent for those options. I also think cedarwood is great. Some people don't love the smell of lavender. Cedarwood is very, very grounding.
I'm much more of a cedarwood cedarwood fan. I lavender is kind of like a ooh for me, but I
Yeah.
use it in blends. It's okay in blends for me, but on its own, I don't love it. But I love cedarwood. I'm obsessed with cedar.
So cedarwood, I love it too. Very grounding, smells wonderful, especially like fall time. I love it. Um, and and then even wild orange. Wild orange has the ability to be both calming and uplifting. So it's not too perky that it'll keep you up at night, but those are some that you could use at night. And then of course you can use them during the day as well. I also love some specific blends. We have a blend called Serenity Specific. That is our restful blend for nighttime. We have a blend called Adaptive, which was really designed for anxiety. And I carry that roller in my purse because sometimes you get those feelings when you're out and about, and it just really grounds me. And we have a new blend called Shinrin Yoku, which stands for forest bathing in Japanese. And Google forest bathing, and you'll see all the amazing benefits. And then you'll think to yourself, I now need to live in the forest, but that's not always possible. We
I
can't.
already think that.
We just can't. Oh, we just
Already
can't
think
up and move if we're away from the forest. But Shinrin Yoku will take you there, not just emotionally, but physically. And what I mean by that is that the studies have shown that Shinrin Yoku will help decrease blood pressure and decrease cortisol levels. I
Wow.
mean, the science behind
That's incredible.
the
Yeah.
science behind doTERRA's oils are so impactful. So those are a few ways to deal with stress and sleep. You can also add our essential oils to Epsom salt and add that to an Epsom salt bath. You kind of take the Epsom salt like a snowball, make it, squish it like a snowball, add a couple drops to the Epsom salt, and then sprinkle that Epsom salt in your bath. So you're getting more benefits that way. I'm a big believer in baths. Sometimes it's hard to carve
This
out
is so
time.
random.
Yeah.
This is so random, but um I love that actually that tip of like making it like a snowball. I do use essential oils in baths and I use salts and all of that. But I just drop the essential oils right in the water and I've had once or twice where I've like experimented with one and it has actually burned my skin because it sits on the top of the water. So I love that as like a way to absorb it into the salts sort of first so that it blends into the water and is diluted a bit instead of being like right on your skin, right? Because I know some oils are safe for on your skin and some aren't, and like directly without a carrier oil. And
Yeah, we call
I
those.
thought, well, I'm pouring it in water, so it's dilutable, right? Or like it's
Oh, but
diluted, but it didn't work if
oil
it
and
sat on
water,
top. Yeah,
don't mix. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Let's talk about that for a quick second. So there are some oils that are hot oils. All
Hmm.
of our blends are typically gonna be fine in a bath. Hot oils tend to be oregano, cinnamon. Um, there's
Patchouli, is that the one that I used that burned me? It might have been patchouli.
hmm.
I
Yeah,
can't
I don't
remember.
know. I would have thought that you would have been okay with that, but
It might
I
have been a different one then.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And the brand, it also depends on that too.
Hmm.
What else might be in that oil. Um, so something to consider. Yeah, we got to talk about safety. The other thing is some oils are photosensitive, so you're not going to want to slather the oil on and then go sit outside in the sun or nobody does tanning beds, right? Don't do them. They're bad. Um,
Hope
but
not anymore.
some are photosensitive. So if you are going to be in the sun, we say put the oils where the sun don't shine. And that leads me to the next section really is where do you put essential oils if you don't like the smell of them, but you want the benefit from it? And the bottoms of the
Uh,
feet are the best place to do that. So
oh, that's brilliant.
you just dab a little bit. I like to put a little bit on my finger and then I kind of swipe on the bottoms of my feet. And so my kids were trained, I'm going to put that in air quotes, trained to put essential oils on the bottoms of their feet and then their socks and shoes and go off to school. And there were certain oils we used. On Guard, which is our immune booster, is the one that we used every single day to help ward off the ick. You can actually use that in a bath as well, but again with Epsom salt. And in our diffuser each night, we use them very strategically. So if you're thinking about oils, what do you want to have happen? So we use lavender or serenity for calm and restfulness. We use On Guard to boost immunity, and then we use an oil called Breathe, which helps open the airways. That's another really, really good essential oil blend for calming as well, because it really kind of forces you to take that deep breath. So those are kind of the strategy behind what's in our diffuser.
That's pretty cool. Now, one of the specific things that you and I talked about that I thought was like, oh, the people in my audience will love this, is the non-toxic products. So aside from just using them for like your diffuser and stuff like that, but the cleaning products, particularly for the moms in my audience who are cleaning a lot because their kids are making constant messes, or the pets and the kids and all the things combined. I would love to touch on that stuff.
So I find that there's two types of people. There's the DIYers, and then there's the please do it for me and make it simple. So I'm in the simple camp, but I will give people a DIY recipe for those who really, okay?
I love to try DIY, and then when I fail, I love to have someone do it for me.
No, there's no way to fail on this one. There's no way to fail on this one, but you get a large spray bottle. If you can get a glass one, that's better. If you can only find a plastic one, I get it. Sometimes done is better than perfect. And so a large spray bottle, and you're going to fill it with water. Okay. That's the easy part. About 1/4 of a cup to a 1/2 a cup, depending on the size of your spray bottle, of white vinegar, and 10 to 20 drops of lemon oil. That is a really great household cleaner. But
I love it. And I love the smell of lemon. What if someone doesn't like the smell of lemon?
If you want a little more oomph, if you want a little easier, better way, we do have a cleaner concentrate. It's called On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. Remember I mentioned On Guard a little earlier? That's the one that helps boost our immunity and that fights 99.9% of ick that's out there. That's what I use. It smells like wild orange, clove, cinnamon, but the smell, it's so heavily diluted with the water that it's just a hint of the smell. So I don't want anyone to freak out and go, I don't like any of those smells, because sometimes it's just that little hint. But you use 2 tablespoons of that, and I don't even measure anymore. I just squeeze like this. Squish, squish. That's it. And then, I love the sound effect. Just 2 squishes and into my large glass spray bottle, and that cleans my entire house. So counters, sinks, toilets, my glass tabletop, mirrors. What is there? What else is there? Did I get everything? That cleans everything.
Floors? Do you use it for floors too?
So you can use it on your floors, yes. I always recommend that you do a little spot check first, because everybody's floors are different. Everybody's countertops are different. Do a little spot check in an inconspicuous area just to make sure that it will work with whatever your finishes are. But yeah, so that is what I do. And for the listeners who have littles, because this is safe and toxin free, they can help clean, and you don't have to be concerned about the bleach or inhaling all of the horrible chemicals with really harsh cleaners that are on the market. The other thing is I've used this as my fruit and veggie wash. I just spray it on. Spray it on. White vinegar is absolutely your friend. Lemon essential oil is also great for that veggie and fruit wash too. So that I mean,
I love it.
Simplify.
And I think even
all you need. That's all you need under your sink.
That is simplifying in so many ways, because it's not only simplifying like the number of ingredients that we're coming into contact with, which reduces those chances of getting like the toxins and all the chemicals and all of that, but also it simplifies like the need for having so many different cleaners. It simplifies the shopping. You don't have to go buy cleaners all the time. It simplifies like in every aspect, and financially, like saves you money. Like there's no negative about that. And it is effectively cleaning. I do know that. So a lot of people wonder, well, like, is it clean enough? You know, they're
Yes.
very like conscious about
Yes.
it actually sterilizing. And it's like, actually, we don't want to hospitals level sterilize in our homes. That's actually not beneficial for our health, right? So this is actually, yes, clean enough. And I do know that from past experience. I
Yeah.
love the On
It's
Guard
so,
cleaner reminds me a lot of like the ingredients you were listing. I'm like, that seems very similar to Thieves, which is I can't remember what brand that is again. Thieves oil. Like it seems like it's probably like the doTERRA version
yeah.
of Thieves oil for whatever that
Yeah.
other brand is, whatever.
There's a lot,
Yeah.
there's a few differences, but yeah, that
Yeah.
if somebody's familiar with that, I think that would be a
Like
good.
that same smell palette. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's probably got a similar one to that, which I do enjoy that one.
Yeah, it
As far
smells
as
good.
smells go, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And then,
okay, and
yeah.
you just rinse after you spray your fruit and vegetables. I was curious about that one when you were saying that one. So like I mean I wash my fruit and vegetables, but I don't really use any products on them. Um, but you're saying you spray it, do you just rinse that off after, or do you leave that on, or like what's your
I
okay.
just spray and then I rinse.
Okay. Yeah. I was just curious.
We can use our On Guard oil. If you cut up an apple, you know how it'll get kind of brown if it sits out
Yeah.
a little bit. You can actually sprinkle a couple drops of the On Guard oil on the apples, and it'll be a healthy snack
No way.
and also kind of prevent
That's
that browning
amazing.
from happening. For those of you who have kids and you're sending them to school and they're like, I didn't eat the apples because they were turning brown.
Yeah.
That's a good trick. Plus they're going to boost. So On
I was
Guard.
just thinking like I've never heard of using oils for that. I've used I was shown one time I can't remember what event it was for, but somebody was putting like lemon juice on apples to keep them from turning brown. But then you
Mhm.
could taste the lemon juice on it after, and it kind of ruins the taste of the apple. Does that add taste to it when you add the on guard?
Yeah, but it tastes good.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
apple pie. Like it's a little bit
Okay.
like
Oh,
apple
like
pie.
cinnamon and apple. Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I could get behind that. That's better than lemon and apples.
Yeah. And the interesting thing that I will share with you, just because you made me think about it, you know how we know that lemon juice is very good detoxifying. A lot of times you're at a restaurant and they'll give you a thing of lemon and you squeeze it into your water or whatever.
Mhm.
Stop doing that because
Oh.
you don't know where that lemon came from and you don't know how many people touched that lemon. Also, the even bigger reason to stop using lemon juice that way is because it wears away at the enamel on your teeth.
Mm.
Lemon oil, our lemon oil comes from the rind. So if you use a drop of lemon oil in your water, you're not going to worry about your enamel wearing away. So it's better for
That's
you.
pretty
So
cool.
I do travel with lemon oil. And if I'm at a restaurant, I'll add it to my water. It's also incredibly detoxifying and cleansing, has a lot of benefits for the digestive system as well.
So you would probably then recommend like even people who cut up lemons at home and you're not worrying about like who touched it, not necessarily, but you would still say
The
it's better to
lemon
use
juice, yeah,
lemon oil.
if you're using lemon juice in your water, a lot of people are starting their day that way because they've heard that it's very
Yeah, I
cleansing.
put lemons in my water lots. Yeah.
Yep, it's wearing away at the enamel of your teeth, so I would stop.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would
That's
stop it.
amazing information.
I
And
would.
okay, and stop it and also save money on buying lemons and and when I forget to use them and they go bad and all of that. So
Yep,
that's
yep.
amazing.
And so that's another way to save time, save money. You can use our essential oils, when we say internally, you can also use them in recipes. So here's another tip.
Mm.
Um, herbs, herbs and spices, they're kind of in big jars, right? And
Yep.
they go bad after 6 months. You're not
Mm.
supposed to use them past 6 months. Well, I don't there's a few that I go through, but there's some that I've purchased, like I need it for this recipe or I need it for this recipe. And it's not inexpensive. And then I'm winding out going, oh, well, that went bad. Now I'm tossing that out. So I now, or I have for many years now, use essential oils instead. Oregano, thyme, marjoram, cinnamon, cardamom, vanilla, um, thyme, rosemary. I'm trying to think of all. I just use
Yeah.
essential oils, and I use like a drop or two in the recipe. That's all you need. And it
Interesting. Do
boosts
you still
the
get the
flavor.
micronutrients from that?
You do. It boosts the flavor, and you also get added benefits from whatever constituents that particular oil has. For example, oregano and thyme are really great at um, helping your immune system. So you're
Okay.
getting that added benefit, and a
So, and
little goes a long way.
um including though like those micronutrients. So I know I'm not an expert in this field at all, but I know a lot of health coaches who will talk about like your macronutrients, the bigger stuff that we worry about in like the main parts of our food, like our protein, or all of that kind of stuff. But then there's micronutrients, and they're like we need to get like tiny bits of certain things. And I'm wondering, like, does the oil replace, as far as that goes, like, do you get the same without having the physical food in the meal? Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Essential oils are more potent than herbs.
Interesting. Well, and because the texture is a big thing for me and for my kids, because again, neurodiversity, and we're very like sensation sensitive, right? So when it comes to too hot, too cold, to whatever, like the textures in our food, stuff like that, it can be very sensitive. So I know a lot of herbs, especially when I put them into stuff, like if there's even a little bit too much and they can sense the texture, it's like, this is gross, blah. And it's not about the taste, it's about the texture of the herbs in there. So
That's so
that's probably
interesting.
a
Yeah,
really great
this could
replacement.
be
Yeah.
this could be a great option. And you have to experiment a little bit. Like my husband loves spicy food, so he's like, "Bring it on." And I'm like, yeah, that's too much. So you have to
Yeah.
experiment with it, but certainly when you get your kids involved, maybe that makes cooking time more fun. And studies have shown, and moms know, that when your kids are involved in the cooking process, they're more likely to eat what they've cooked. So,
This is true. I'm the one that doesn't like cooking here. I made a deal with my 13-year-old. She does most of the cooking now, and I clean.
oh my gosh, I wish I'd struck up that deal. That's great.
She
But
loves it. She loves
no,
to experiment. She loves to cook and
but
and
no
all of that. So
happy.
we
What
just,
are
and
they?
but she hates putting her hands in the dishwater, or she hates touching dirty stuff. So I was like, how about if we do this? And she was like, yes.
But no happy noodles are on the menu or whatever they're called.
No, no, it's like she does mainly just supper, right? Like we'll do, like, all of us will kind of pick our breakfasts or whatever, and lunches are usually leftovers from supper, but she mainly cooks supper. And then, once a week I'll do it so she has a break or whatever. But for the most part, she's cooking, and she's doing it all from scratch, and she's better at it than I am. I burn everything, or I mix up
Oh,
recipes or whatever. Like, I
that's
struggle with cooking. So yeah, it was an incredible, it was a really good
yeah.
switcheroo for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree with that. And when the younger ones get involved, when they can stand on the stool and help stir, or when they can dump, the ingredients, and they love that. So, um, and then they can take pride in it, which does, yeah, make it easier for them to get behind eating it.
Absolutely. So it's fun. It's fun that essential oils can be used so many different ways. And you know,
Yeah.
people need to start with whatever makes sense for them. So when I first started, it was like, okay, I can do a diffuser. Like that seems simple enough.
Yeah.
I can put a couple
Yeah.
of drops in there. And I always start with a couple of drops, because you can always go up from there if you don't smell it, or you strong enough and you want it to be stronger, that kind of thing. Um, and that saves money too, because you're only using a little bit. And then I think we started to use them like topically, like on the drive-bys that I had mentioned, down the spine,
Yeah.
bottoms of the feet. We used oils on our tummy, or forehead for headaches, tummy for, digestive issues, oils on, shoulders and neck, shoulders for muscle and joint discomfort, oils for growing pains. Like we just started using them that way in the bath.
Ooh, I would love to know suggestions for that one. Growing pains. My kids are complaining about it all the time. What do you
Yeah.
use for growing pains?
So one of our most popular blends is called Deep Blue, and it comes in a stick form, like like a deodorant stick almost, a stick.
Oh, okay.
It comes in a lotion and it comes in an oil.
Okay.
And I can get you a sample of that. I actually have a sample pack of the lotion. I'd be happy to send you.
That'd be cool. Although I'm in Canada and shipping probably isn't worth it, but it sounds amazing.
Okay. Well, I have a
I
I
might
have a
need to find a local supplier and then get myself some, but that's
we are an international company,
yes.
so you
Yes.
can get doTERRA products literally anywhere in the world. And the cool thing about
Yes.
the Canadian warehouse is you have access to our US warehouse too. So that's
Cool.
pretty special. So yeah, I mean, our product line, talking about warehouse, I mean, we have everything from toxin-free mineral-based sun care. We have hair care. We have oral care, fluoride-free toothpaste, mouthwash, hand sanitizer, dish soap. I mean, most people know us as essential oils. We also have some amazing nutraceuticals and supplements. And what makes our products
Okay.
so different is that not only are they infused with essential oils, right? Nobody else has what we have in terms of essential oil purity and potency. But there's really the science that backs it up. So
That's pretty cool.
it just sort of takes what it did for me is it took sort of the weight of the world off my shoulders, and I was able to partner
Yeah,
with
of having to be conscious of what you're putting in your kids' mouths and on their bodies and I mean on our own, but I think as especially as moms, we tend to be more focused on what we're putting in our kids and on our kids versus what we're putting in and on ourselves.
yeah,
So
the only
that's
thing
very
we
cool.
really don't have is makeup. We're not a makeup company. Um, but I
But you
do,
know what? I know that those companies exist too that are very, very good with this kind of thing, specifically for
yeah,
makeup, right? So that's cool.
yeah.
Um, so okay. What is the best way for people in my audience to get in touch with you or to get into your world, just be in your spaces? Um, because I'm sure that lots of it, like you've given some incredible tips today, and I know that you have your own Facebook group and you've got, things like that. So tell us a little bit about that so that people know how to connect with you. And then maybe also if you have anything specific that you're doing right or that you consistently do that people can participate in or purchase or whatever that and then we can drop the link for whatever that is in the comments. If you want to tell us a little bit about that kind of stuff, that would be amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I do have a Facebook group. It's called Simplify Your Wellness with Cindy Vallone. I would love for you to join in. I do have guest speakers in there, so it's not just me. I do share wellness tips. Other people share wellness tips, so it's really a community of people supporting and helping each other. Um, you can find me at cindyvallone.com and you can schedule a complimentary wellness consult in there on the Contact Me tab. I do 20-minute complimentary consults either over the phone, like old fashioned over the phone, or on Zoom for people who are, might be zoomed out. We can just do a regular call. And that's really for people to just ask the questions that are piling up after listening to this, right? Like, oh gosh, I wonder what Cindy would recommend for such and such. What about this?
Yeah.
I've heard about such and such. We just have that conversation. I do have a really cool 1-minute wellness survey. And then the reason I say it's 1 minute is because it really is 1 minute. And that also helps me be able to guide you in terms of connecting the dots. What is your focus? Are you focused on what's your priority in terms of health? Is it stress? Is it sleep? Is it removing toxins from your home? Is it digestive issues? What else? Is it metabolic health? Is it making sure that you're getting your proper supplementation? What are your priorities? And then I can send you that survey, and then I can send you a complimentary ebook so that you can read some information
Cool.
about lots of really great tips. And probably Facebook Messenger, Instagram, DMs, those are the best
Yeah,
places to get a hold of me.
cool. One question that I had thought of earlier, and I just remembered before I let you go. One thing that I know is that some essential oils are not safe for pets or even young kids. So are there any that you can, I mean, rattle off the top of your head? It's okay if not. But if there's any that you can recommend that people watch out for or that they
Yeah,
stay
so
away from.
I think that in answering that question, I need to mention a couple of things. Number one, there are dilution ratios. So essential oils can be used with very young babies and the elderly population, but it's how you use them or prepare the oils with a carrier
Mm.
oil. Carrier oil is something like fractionated coconut oil. And we have guidelines and lists and all of that kind of stuff. We also have a kids line of oils that are already
Oh,
pre-diluted. And it's phenomenal. It's very cute. They are named so that the kids really can identify them or they identify the colors. I have it actually right back there.
for
So it's
what they're used
not
for.
just for kids. Yeah, there's calmer,
Oh,
steady, brave, thinker. Thinker is my favorite for
oh,
energy.
I love
Focus.
it. For like, yeah. Wow, that's super
Um,
cool.
there's
Because that
rescuer.
puts the control in their hands. That makes that like so that
Yeah.
they can get way more on board.
Yep.
Oh, I
They're
love that.
they're
So
empowered
cool.
to use those. So definitely I can help make recommendations on that front. And like I said, you don't have to be a kid to use them. Like I use the whole kit as
Yeah.
well. And then for pets. So we have not just a medical board panel, but we have a veterinary board panel here at doTERRA. And one of the members is Dr. Janet Roark, Roark. And she has written some of my favorite books on essential oil usage with pets. So you can also Google her and check her out. She really is my go-to. So when people have pet questions, I look in her book that I have and
Okay.
I'll share that information. So there is a list of oils to stay away from pets. Tea tree is a big one. Most cats and dogs can't metabolize it. It's really not an oil that I diffuse.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think
It's a good cleaner, but not necessarily.
it's a
Yeah.
good cleaner and that's fine. You're not going to diffuse it. Plus, when
Yeah.
you use it as a cleaner, it's going to be heavily diluted. So they should be fine. You
Yeah.
can actually use oils on your pets again with certain ratios and where you do it and all of that kind of stuff. But what I will say is with pets, you never want to, not that anyone would do this, but you're never going to lock your pet into a small room with a diffuser going. They have to
Yes.
be
You want
able
them
to
to be able
move
to leave.
away from the
Yeah.
space. And what I will share too, which is super cool, is that Caesar Milan, does that name, he's the
Yeah.
dog whisperer.
Yeah.
So, okay. So he actually, there's an episode of him using doTERRA's lavender for a dog who had severe separation anxiety. And he put lavender on
Oh.
the dog's like little blankie that was in the crate to help calm the dog right down. So
I'm
the
gonna use that today. My dog gets anxious, so I'm
oils
gonna
and
try that
pets,
right
oils and pets. And what you can do is you can put like one drop on your finger and just kind of do this in front. I know I'm on a podcast. Wave your finger in front of the dog's nose, not too close because their sense of smell is so heightened.
so
And
strong. Yeah.
if they go away from it, that means they don't like it. And if they kind of go towards it, it means that they're on board. So you could also put, as
Okay.
long as you know that they like it, you could put a tiny little bit like the remainder that's on your finger on their collar. But yeah, that book, Essential Oil, shoot, I'm forgetting the title, but look up Dr. Janet Roark, Roark, and anything that she does is top notch.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna look that up as well because yeah, I'm a big pet person. So for me, pets are a key one. And And I love too for the kids. I love that you guys have a kids line. I think that's really cool because I know there are a lot of warnings out there about using specific oils with your kids and all of that kind of thing, and diffusing certain ones even that they're not healthy for kids for lung development and stuff like that. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure which ones those are, but I'm
Yeah.
always super hesitant and careful with that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to make
That's
anyone sick. I don't
really,
want to add to any problems, especially with something that's supposed to be natural and wonderful, right? So I'm like, I'm always a little
and
concerned. So
And that's really why I offer the complimentary consults too. These are the
yeah,
questions that people that are kind of are bubbling up for people. And so we just hop on a call and I help you. I'll also share my link. My link gives you a discount forever.
cool.
So
Oh,
the
cool.
reason I share that is because there's so many companies out there that give you a discount on your first order,
Yeah.
but my discount is on every order.
And
So
can my audience use it, or is that just for me?
yes. No, yes, for
Okay, so we'll put that in the show notes as well.
yes.
That's super cool. I'm excited to share that with my
Yeah,
ladies.
so you
So
definitely want to
thank you.
use my link. You don't want to go to just doTERRA.com because then you'll be paying retail prices and I don't want you to do that. The other thing I have to tell you is that our products are not available on Amazon. So if you see
Oh, okay.
doTERRA on Amazon, it's because somebody is breaking the rules or they're counterfeit.
They're
Um,
reselling it. Oh, okay.
and they're
Okay. Or
not
they're
allowed
counterfeit.
they're not allowed to do that. So please, if you know somebody who is a doTERRA wellness advocate and you want to go through them, that's great. I would love for you to go through me so that I can give you the best support possible as well, and then that forever discount.
That's super cool. Thank you. That's amazing. So I mean, thank you for coming and talking to me today. It's such a I think this is just such a great supplement to all the stuff that I talk about as far as simplifying our lives go. Definitely know I'm going to be implementing some of these like starting now. So I'm super excited about it. I can't wait for people to get to hear about this. And for anyone who is listening, if you got some value out of this, go follow Cindy, join her group, and just be in her world because we all know that what we surround ourselves with is what we're calling into our lives. So bring that in so that you are um, that can be your first step toward um, simplifying your wellness. So very cool. Thank you, Cindy, for coming and talking to me today.
Thank you so much.
All right. So I will talk to you all in the next episode.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe to be notified of new episodes. If you really love it here and want to help spread the light, please take a moment to rate the show and leave a review. They help so much. If you love listening and want to be part of the interactive and incredible online community we're growing, make sure you click the link in the description box and join the Facebook group. I promise you it is not like other groups you've been in. Hope to meet you there soon, and I'll be talking to you next week, sending you all my love from my heartbeat to yours.